Hi Libra, welcome to May 2023. Here we are. Life is really weird these days. My computer's being all funky or this application is, or something like that because of Mercury retrograde, I'm sure. And it keeps going fuzzy. So, this is what life looks like in May. It's going to be very intense. May is not going to be an easy month to get through. We're going to talk about the astrology here in a minute. We found a place to live. So there's good news on the horizon. We move in the first week of June, but we're starting from scratch. Before I left Missouri, I gave all of my stuff to my older son so that he could fill his house with stuff. And the place that we were in before was furnished. So we have to get furniture and pots and pans and like all those things. So I have my schedule open in May. If you'd like to get a reading, that could be really helpful for us. My 6-month reading is also available. The July through December reading is available as well. So all of that information is in the description box. Thanks for being here. I'd love to get a thumbs up and a comment from you guys. It's always nice to be able to read the comments. Let's talk about astrology. So yesterday, Pluto went retrograde in your 5th house, and you're probably going to recognize during this retrograde that you're finding closure, personal growth kind of closure in certain circumstances. For you guys, it may have a lot to do with your stability. Excuse me. As Libra risings, I'm a Libra rising. My partner's a Libra rising. I have several friends who are Libra risings. Having Pluto in Capricorn has been hell on our stability and our housing and feeling like we have a stable home, like we can call a place a home. I don't know about you guys, but the Libra risings that I am connected with are recognizing now how their home life is kind of being disrupted again. And so this retrograde, you may find that there's some closure happening, and it may not necessarily have to do with like the structure of your home life, but it could be like the relationships and the people. You could be finding things with family members. There might have been a lot of secrets unearthed during Capricorn Pluto transit in our 4th house. So now Pluto has dipped his toe in our 5th house, the house of self-expression. And he's going to be retrograde for a couple of months. We'll be back in Aquarius in January of 2024. So pay attention to the chapters that are closing right now. This Friday, May 5th, we have the full moon Scorpio lunar eclipse in our 2nd house, bringing new life to the way that you make money, and how it connects to your own self-worth. So the 2nd house being Scorpio for us is very interesting because because Scorpio is such an intense kind of energy, a very emotional, deep waters, like really deep waters emotional. And because it's the fixed sign, this is the last time. May is full of fixed sign energy, things happening with fixed signs. So this is the last Scorpio eclipse that we will need. But along with that 4th house Pluto, we've had a lot of that 2nd house self-worth action come up. So for this lunar eclipse, I really would love for us Libra risings to do things that really help to boost how we feel about ourselves, like our own worthiness, and recognizing that it is not what we do or how much money we make or the way that our life looks. That doesn't define who we are, right? So that's what the lunar eclipse is going to bring up. We have Mercury direct happening in Taurus in our 8th house on May 14th. So communication with other people becomes easier. What's really funny is like we're moving into an apartment and I'm like, I don't know that I want to sign a lease while Mercury is still retrograde in my 8th house because the 8th house represents other people's property. So I'm hoping that we don't have to sign the lease until after May 14th. Of course, if I do have to, I'm still going to do it. But um, yeah, I just don't need anything extra to come out of me signing a lease when Mercury's in retrograde in my 8th house. But yeah, so things may start to become easier. You may recognize that you can get along with other people and be in other people's spaces, and other people can be in your space a little bit easier after Mercury goes direct. May 16th, we have Jupiter in Taurus, which will be also our 8th house, and he will be in that 8th house for the next year. This is actually going to be really like a positive for finding abundance from other people's personal property or something like that. Like some of us may find out that, we inherit money, or, there's something that we inherit. We're like given a house, or we're given this, or we're given that. Maybe easier to get a loan during this time with Jupiter in Taurus. But also you'll find abundance by working well with other people. So really learning how to work well with other people is a big theme for Jupiter in Taurus as well. And then we also have the Taurus new moon also in the 8th house. So, this is starting something brand new. If you're like moving at this time, like we are, or if your life is kind of shifting in big ways at this time, because the 8th house is also about change and transformation. So if you're going through massive shifts at this time, it's kind of on brand and normal for the weather, the cosmic weather that's going on. So just breathe. Like, I get it. I understand how tense it can be. The eclipse, I can already feel that the intensity of that eclipse energy, it's pretty heavy. Like, it feels like it's sitting on my shoulder. So really hope that I can release that in some way, shape, or form, because I'm not a fan of projecting my shit onto other people. So like I see it, right, I start to feel it, and I'm like, this needs to be taken care of in some way. Like something's got to give. So also we have on May 20th, we have a fixed T-square happening. So Mars is moving into Leo. Will be at 0 degrees on the 20th, and Pluto will be at 0 degrees Aquarius. So Mars will be opposite Pluto, and that is perfect time for power struggles, for arguments to happen. And then we have Jupiter that just ingressed Taurus. Wow. My setting for the automatic, to make it clear, sorry, automatic, yeah, not the Zoom thing, but to make it clear, is it must have changed or something. It's very strange. Anyway, sorry about that going fuzzy. But so there's this really intense transit that we have going on, and we're going to feel the buildup to it. This is a jumping off point for a lot of people to start new chapters in their lives, but there's going to be a lot of power struggles. Like it's hard for me to talk about this kind of thing because I don't want anybody to be afraid of it. Like that's not what I want to do. Like I don't want to make anybody afraid of it, but it's not going to be fun. And people are going to, we've seen it. People are already a little bit crazy right now. And this is just going to amplify that a little bit more. There's a purpose. I just keep having the faith that there's a purpose and there's a way. And then May 21st, we have Gemini season. So, and May really is just going to be full of super duper intense moments and experiences. So, knowing yourself and finding peace with yourself and finding joy with yourself and just like coming back to yourself, because it's very easy to get lost in the delusion that life is so shitty. Like, I've been there, trust me. Like, in the last month, I had to pull myself out of that, that like I can't do this anymore, like I don't want to do this anymore, like that whole mess, an idea, because of the overthinking and the destination addiction, and I already wanted this and I wanted this and I wanted this and I wasn't getting it fast enough, and right? The breath, the surrender. Speaking of surrender, power of surrender cards, Virgo. Let's see what it is that Libra. Wow. Let's see what it is that Libra called Virgo. Let's see what Libra is surrendering for May. What is Libra surrendering for May? Ooh, good one. Surrender the drama. No matter how emotionally charged the situation, remain calm and don't contribute to the drama. Stay centered, and staying centered will help resolve the issue more quickly. Yeah. So, there is a lot of drama right now, too. There's a lot of drama right now. And it's easy to get triggered because, I feel like people have sort of lost the art of approaching other people. And I think the reason why, I think there are many reasons for why that's happened or that's happening, but a lot of it is because a child can't knock on somebody's door without getting shot in the head. You know what I mean? Like, it's really hard to not want to set something straight. You guys are ruled by Venus, and Venus isn't just about lovely things. Venus is also about justice. She's very much about justice and standing up for what is, what's fair. Not even what's right or not even what's wrong. In Venus's world, there's no such thing as right or wrong. It's what's fair. It's what's just, balanced, like the scales. So, the drama will only drain your own energy for sure. So here we go. Could be dealing with a water sign, or I feel like this is just you coming out, having your intuition extremely intact, right? Just really in touch with your intuition. So the top row, we have the Queen of Cups. We have the Emperor, and we have the Six of Cups. And then we have the Death card, and then we have the Seven of Cups. Okay. I feel like something is changing you. And I feel like you are trying to control the situation. You may be dealing with an Aries energy, a Scorpio, or even a Cancer. But I feel like you're trying to control the way a situation is going to go because things are changing. And I don't want you to try and control that situation. I want you to, and I feel like the reason why you're trying to control it is because, like, of past things. Like, this makes me feel like maybe you're a little bit emotional and reminiscent in May for some reason. But it feels like there's a sense of needing to find control about either a soulmate relationship or something from the past. It could even go as far back to your childhood. Some of you want to start your own business or be like your own boss. The Death card, the Seven of Cups, the Ten of Wands, and the Chariot. This is like things are changing, and I feel like there's this heavy weight because you're confused about what direction to go in. It's like, I've done all this work to get to where I am. Now everything is changing. I'm so confused. I have no idea what direction like I need to look at or face. And this is, I mean, like something that I tweeted earlier this week, or I don't remember if it was like yesterday or a couple of days ago, but like discourse is a natural part of change. Chaos is a natural part of change. Sometimes it's not as loud as other times, but there's always going to be some kind of tension because you're breaking a restriction. You're breaking a condition, right? So when there's a break, there's always some kind of discourse, a loud crack, or if a tree falls, breaks off and falls, like a big crush or bang or something like that. There's always discourse when something is shifting, when something is changing. There's always some kind of amount of discourse. And it's when we start looking at discourse as a bad thing, as something that we shouldn't be going through. Like, I even used to say things like, I have worked so hard in my life to become like just have peace and have stability and have comfort. Like I get angry when things don't go the way that I think that they should be going, or that there's some kind of change in discourse in my life. And I'm like, it's not fair. But then you see why. Eventually you always see why something had to happen. So this confusion right now, this confusion to whatever had to end, whatever had to change, the confusion of it, the whys, and how do I, be okay with it? And, when do I start feeling better? And when does the heartache stop? And like all of those things can create this massive burden on you. The discourse. And then we have the Chariot. So the Ten of Wands and then the Chariot. So let's clarify. Let's see where we're going with this. Because I feel like divine timing is at play here. And Libra, I told Virgo the same thing. When I learned that divine timing was actually my timing, I just had to stop doing the destination thing and allow myself to be in a present moment, right? So when I started doing that and I started allowing myself to say, surrender, I surrender to whatever is meant to happen. Because I have seen so many, like my life, I have no control over most things in my life. It's like, if you've been watching me since 2017, since I started this channel, and even if you haven't, like you've seen the discourse in my life. And there are many of those moments where it is not the choice that I made that made that discourse happen. It was the choice of somebody else that made the discourse happen. So it's pretty hilarious when you realize that divine timing really just is you being aligned to the path, the journey, the direction that you're going in. You're building a new foundation right now. The things that had to end and the way that things had to go happened because that was not meant for you. But I'm sure that you probably learned something. Let's see what this Emperor. You could be dealing with an Aries. You could be dealing with an Aries as well. Because the Queen of Wands came out on the Emperor. For some of you, you're starting something new with an Aries. For others of you, it feels like a boss figure in some way, but they could be helping you to rebuild your foundation. They could be a support system to help you rebuild your foundation. With that 3 of Pentacles on the Queen of Cups. Here on the 6 of Cups, we have the 8 of Swords and the Sun. You know, you can't see the sun if you're in an 8 of Swords state of mind. What is it that you're not being honest with yourself about the past? Libra. Because when we talk about surrendering the drama, it feels very much like there's something that you're still holding on to that wants to conclude, right? That wants to conclude. And also, if you're searching for that relationship, if you're searching for that connection, if that's the thing that you really want to have in your life, you got to open your eyes up. Because if your eyes aren't fully open and you haven't allowed yourself to see things clearly, you're going to keep on choosing people based on potential. Because that's what you guys do. I love you so much for it. I do. I love Libras for that, man. I love Libras for wanting to see the best out of other people. I really do. That is your 7th house quality. You want to see the best out of other people. You just want them to do it your way. You know? So, I feel like this 3 of Pentacles makes me feel like you have a team of people that are on your side. And then the 8 of Swords makes me feel like I want you to be able to stop reliving past experiences with other people, past relationships with other people. I want you to be able to see all those experiences as, wow, man, that really made me a better person. And now I can move on. That person made me a better person. No matter how much they hurt me, they made me a better person. I am a different person. Thank you very much for that experience. You know? Okay, so the ending of things can be very confusing, but the load that you're carrying right now is, you're almost done with it. Let's see. Okay. Do you have a Scorpio that you need to walk away from? Or it's time for you to recognize the attachment that you have so that things can end. What is it that you're still attached to? What idea are you still attached to? If something isn't working out, it's not meant to work out. Like you're not actually supposed to fight as hard as we were told that we needed to fight for things. That's not natural. If a relationship is meant to be, if a work experience is meant to be, if a friendship is meant to be, it will be, right? So there's some kind of idea, and maybe that's not the idea. Maybe there's something else. There's some kind of idea that you, Libra, are still attached to. And that's not wrong. It's not wrong to still be attached to ideas. It's about recognizing what it is and then being like, okay, how do I make this idea of something less important? Because it's your ego protection that makes that idea big. right? It's your ego protection because of past things that happened that makes that idea big. So, 7 of Cups, confusion. Wow. Okay. Got it. Bottom of the deck is the Wheel of Fortune. Nice. That's a good pull, Libra. Good pull. Things are changing. Things are shifting. Okay. 10 of Pentacles on the 7 of Cups. So within all of that confusion and that chaos, there are opportunities for growth and expansion and abundance. And having that 10 of Pentacles there, like you're going to find that path for you. And I think that there's not just one. I think by seeing all of these cups here, it might feel a little overwhelming and a little bit scary at first, but the path that you're going to take is going to lead you to the abundance that you want, as long as you're honest with yourself, right? As long as you are not blindfolded, like this 8 of Swords is blindfolding, right? You got to take that blindfold off. She has every way to get out of that 8 of Swords. It is a self-imposed imprisonment of the mind. So there's some kind of past healing work. The Star with the 10 of Wands, man. The Star makes me think of your purpose. It's the wish card, right? Sure, an Aquarius could be a little bit difficult for you right now, but I think that you're on your journey towards that North Star, that direction that you're supposed to be going in. And the 8 of Pentacles on the Chariot is just reminding you to keep going, right? The Wheel of Fortune, divine timing. What did we say about divine timing? Get into the present moment. This 8 of Pentacles, perfect example of being present. You can overwork yourself in the present, absolutely. But this guy is very focused on what he's doing. If he was thinking about the future, or he was thinking about the past, or he was thinking about anything else, he could easily slip up, right? He wants each one of these pentacles to look exactly the same. So keep doing what you're doing and know that you are moving ahead, and know that the difficulty and the hard times, it's going to let up real soon. And don't feed into the drama. Don't feed into the drama. I love you guys so much. I hope you have a super wonderful May, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.